Hello, fellow gamers. I hope you're having a great day, and I want to thank you in advance for clicking play and listening to my rants and commentary for today. I apologize, it's been a while, been working things out, figuring things out, but here we are. The first thing I want to talk about is if you follow me on Twitter, you probably already know this, but if you don't, I am currently doing a giveaway for Minecraft, hence why I'm running B-roll of me playing Minecraft. So I apologize for the boring footage, but maybe you do enjoy watching monotony building in Minecraft. But Minecraft is a great game. There's a reason it's sold so many copies, and there's a reason Notch is literally heats his furnace with dollar bills. I'm doing a giveaway. So the giveaway ends on June 22nd, Friday at noon. So depending on when you're listening to this, it might be too late, but if not, please go to Twitter. You'll see I have a tweet. It's pretty close to the top of my page. Just like, follow, and retweet, and you'll be eligible for 3 codes for Xbox One. One of the codes is for a full copy of the Minecraft game. Another code is for the Explorers Pack, and then another code is for the full game of Minecraft Story Mode, the Telltale game that they did. So if you're interested in that, please check it out, and I appreciate your support and your interest. On to other topics. I'm going to talk about a few things today. Not a lot. I want to talk about Borderlands 3, and I want to talk about the Battle Royale format, and I want to talk about Fallout 76. So it's not going to be a very long Gatorcast today. But I wrote an article recently discussing Borderlands 3 and a hypothetical opportunity I think that Gearbox has. And that hypothetical opportunity, or it might not be hypothetical, who knows what they're doing behind the scenes, is that I think Borderlands 3, and if you're familiar with the genre, Borderlands is a hybrid game. It's, I think the best way to describe it is it's a Diablo first-person shooter. What that means is that it has randomly dropped loot in the form of guns and some other accessories, and it's an adventure that's a first-person shooter, kind of like a Call of Duty, Battlefield with guns, but not in those. It's not literally that genre. It's a totally different IP, but it uses elements of first-person shooting, storytelling. Creative storytelling, and then has an incredible loot system. And Borderlands 3, it would be, I think, it's easy to say it's highly anticipated. I mean, it's I think Borderlands 1 was kind of like a cult hit, and Borderlands 2 expanded that base and pretty much made it a mainstream game. I mean, most gamers, you say Borderlands or Gearbox, they associate the two one and one. And so I think Gearbox is in a unique position because they have some unique experience that I think they could bring to the Battle Royale format using the intellectual property or the IP of Borderlands. One of the other games they've done is called Battleborn, and that game I think is arguably considered kind of a flop. And I'm not going to get into the reasons why that game didn't do well or kick on it. That's a topic for another day. I could spend 15 minutes just talking about why that game didn't work out or why it wasn't so successful. But it was basically a first-person shooter MOBA, kind of another kind of hybrid game. Now, it didn't work out, but I think with Borderlands, they could take the hybrid evolution a step further. If they make a game with a campaign and a story like 2 and 1 did, and the sequel they did on the moon, I think they have the potential to make another great game. But I think they could add a Battle Royale mode, and I think they could evolve on the current format. You currently have PUBG with its pretty much as the standard Battle Royale. Then you got Fortnite that adds building, and it's a slight evolution. But Borderlands is poised to take it even further. And here's the things I would point out. They have an advantage because they have a world that has a story and characters, and I know Fortnite is attempting to do that, but it's very loose and doesn't really have established story base. But Borderlands does, so that's an advantage. And obviously, I'm talking about a battle royale mode for Borderlands would be parallel to a campaign. Like obviously, I still want the campaign. That's what everyone's looking for. I would say the battle royale mode would be a separate mode, but you could probably connect them. And this is where I'm saying where Borderlands could make an evolution here, because since Borderlands has randomly dropped loot and guns, they can make a battle royale mode where the guns are randomly generated and random rolls. So you could take, you add another random element to the already kind of chaotic system. And then maybe even have like loot that drops in the battle royale mode be transferred over to your campaign mode. So you maybe use a generic vault hunter in the battle royale, or maybe you make a creative vault hunter. I don't know, but you could have randomly generated loot. You could maybe connect it to a campaign so it has like some permanence. You could also take maybe their experience with Battleborn, which was a hybrid, which was a first-person shooter MOBA, and maybe add some MOBA. And if you're not familiar with MOBA, I'm talking like League of Legends, Smite, Heroes of the Storm, Dota. That's where you're usually, it's typically a game with three lanes, player versus player, and then you have like AI NPCs that sometimes you have to interact with and kill to progress in the mode. They could maybe marry that kind of system with a battle royale format where you have battle royale, but then you also have bandits that run around and you have to engage and deal with while you're trying to deal with people who are trying to kill you. I think they could take it to so many levels, and this is why I'm highlighted in this cast. This is why I wrote an article, because I think the battle royale format, Fortnite is insane. It's dominating. It's people are playing it. People love it. People hate it, but the bottom line is it's definitely affecting the gaming market. And I think that it's not the best evolution we've seen. I think, in an analogy, it's the MySpace of the world, and we haven't seen the Facebook yet. And I really believe that. I think the company that is really going to just kill it is going to be the company that takes Battle Royale format to the next evolution. And I think Gearbox is poised in that position. If they, this is a bold move, and it could be considered risky, but I think if done properly, it could, just do gangbusters. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think the Battle Royale format's oversaturated? Are you just sick of hearing it? I know some people are. I have some friends that I know on Twitter and on YouTube that definitely feel that way. And I understand that. But I'd like to know what your thoughts. Moving on, I want to talk a little bit about Fallout 76. And the reason why I want to talk about it is that, one, I think it's probably one of the biggest stories that come out of E3. Bethesda, love or hate them, people love to kick them on their bugs for their games, Elder Scrolls and Skyrim. But the one thing I would say is that they make some classic role-playing games. They are an iconic studio, and I think they make some of the best games that have ever been made. But I have a lot of excitement, and I also have a lot of concerns about Fallout 76. I'm excited about the prospect of a multiplayer Fallout game, and I'm excited about the setting. I'm based here in Northern Virginia, so I obviously am kind of a little biased with like the fact that they're placing this in West Virginia in the DC and Virginia area. I think that's really cool. But anyways, my concerns are this. I remember, one, being completely blown away by Skyrim, like many people. And, I know people who consider Skyrim the best game ever made. And I remember the hype for Elder Scrolls Online. And when it did come out and the realization that it didn't really play like Elder Scrolls, it was more of in the trinity of MMOs of like the EverQuest, World of Warcraft mold. And then there was a lot of people who were really disappointed. And Elder Scrolls Online, I would remind you, struggled. And I think it still is. I mean, they just released a new expansion. I think they went live either today or yesterday or very recently. And it's doing a lot better, but it had a rocky start. It started off with a subscription, and then it became free to play, and then it had like premium players. So they definitely struggled with figuring out how to monetize Elder Scrolls Online. Now, Fallout 76 doesn't seem to be in the mold of like the MMO pattern that they did with Elder Scrolls. So I'm hopeful that they're not going to fall in the same pit traps, or I want to say problems they have with Elder Scrolls. But that is my main concern, because if they can, I think, navigate that better, then I think Fallout 76 could and possibly be an incredible game, and we'll all be talking about it later this year. So I'd like to know what your thoughts are on that. I know some of you leave comments. I know some of you actually just email me or direct message on Twitter, because I have my direct messages are wide open. So please feel free to do that. Let me know what your thoughts on today's topics. I'm curious what you think. Am I alone on thinking about Battle Royale evolution, or are you one of those people who just feels like Battle Royale should just die in a hole and starve to death because you're sick of hearing about it? I want to know what your opinions are, and I also want to know what you think about Fallout 76. Are you hyped for it, or are you worried, or you think that this is another opportunity that Bethesda is going to get right or get wrong? And on that, my closing remarks, I want to just thank all my supporters. I know I've been kind of running slow here, getting content out, and to be fair, it's not laziness. I'm trying to figure things out. This is a passion project. I'm not getting paid to do it, and I'm looking into ways to maybe monetize what I'm doing. But I'm not interested in like bombarding the people who do support me with ads. I recently just took all ads off my website. It wasn't really working. I was making pennies on the dollar, and all it did was like slow my website down and made it look stupid. And I just decided, like, you know what, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to do Google ads. I'm going to figure out another way to, incentivize or monetize my site for people who want to support me, either through like a Patreon or, merchandise that's related to gaming. Because if I do merchandise, I want to do merchandise that people want. Not just like some dumb t-shirts. I'm thinking like, not cheap, but inexpensive, gaming accessories and things like that. And I'm actually looking into that, and I actually have some deals working on that. And on that note, I also want to thank all you YouTuber supporters out there. I just hit 300 subscribers recently, and I can't tell you how much that means to me. That means people are getting what I'm doing. I appreciate your support. I appreciate that you are enjoying my content. And I love your feedback, even if it's negative, even if it's criticism or constructive criticism. I want to take it, give it to me, let me know what you want to see and what you want to hear. Thank you for listening, and I hope you have a fantastic week, a fantastic weekend. And for the love of God, find some time to play some games and have some fun. Appreciate you. Thank you.